Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Alan. So any question so far? Now this will be the last forecast that I'm doing with you all. Okay, so yeah, let's do it. So welcome back to this workshop. Okay, let's resume the second half of today's lessons. Workshop, not lessons. Okay, model 3, forecasting the next 2 months. So the next 2 months will be a 比卦 hexagram month, not 60-day month, 60-day period. So it's a 比卦. Okay, so we are looking at this actually, right? So 家人之比 it says here, but the core is empty, right? The core is empty. And what core are we talking about? It draw reference to this, the dragon's head and the neck. Okay, so dragon's head and the neck, usually, in Chinese context, when they talk about dragon, right, it's always the leadership part. And when it's talking about the leadership part and it say the core is empty, means the core of the leadership is empty lah. Means someone stepping down, or someone passed away, or someone got assassinated, and therefore the core is empty, things like that. Okay, so it could point in that direction. So but for simplified state, I put it as step down. Okay, I put it as step down. So it could be someone stepping down because of political maneuvering, or political assassination, or or illness and things like that. Okay, it could be in those scenarios. But just to move things across, I put it as stepping down, right? So if I look back at this 家人之比 energy, 家人之比, in the past workshops, when we run the workshops, there were period whereby it was also 家人之比. So we can have past lessons to draw upon to see whether the core is empty. What could that really mean? Okay, so when the past was that, it was in January, 15 Jan to 25th Jan. Is actually, the energy is actually 知己知家人知彼. Okay, by 家人之比 here. What happened during that 10-day period is that, for example, you can see here, Vietnam Parliament approved president's resignation. Okay, so Vietnam's president resigned. And then also in January, the next day, you find that New Zealand PM, the female PM, Jacinta, also resigned. Okay, so leave emptiness in that leadership, right? And then here, also Brazil sacked army commander. So it's also leadership, army commander, after anti-government riots. So yeah, we already have past lessons that says that, hey, when this energy 家人之比 shows up, it could means the core is missing. Okay, means there could be a vacuum in the leadership role. So this is in the coming 60 day, coming 60 day. So let's drill into the first block, first 10-day block. Now the first 10-day block is a 艮卦. 艮卦 basically means stop stoppages stoppages, And if you look at this highlighted one, it says abandon the carriage and walk. What does it mean? Abandon the carriage and walk. Basically means don't take transportation. If you say don't take transportation, does it mean land transport, sea transport, air transport? Not too sure. Okay, or it could mean all these three. Right? So in this 10-day block, I would say that, since it's asking us to abandon the carriage, then there could be transportation accident again. Now, what mode of transportation? We don't know. It could be any. It could be train, air, land, motor, okay, and sea. So if you're planning on cruise or taking interstate kind of bus services, this is called carriage. or transportation. So be careful. Yeah, be careful. So the theme for the 10-day I put here as accident. And then when I look through the day by day energy, there are signature of inundated. Inundated means flood lah, or huge flood and overcoming. Okay, the town, the areas and things like that. So it's called inundation. Okay, inundation. And there's also signs of clashes. Well, this year is really not very peaceful. Clashes here, clashes there. Okay, so I would say this 10-day will be the theme for this 10-day will be these three: accident, inundation, and clashes. So remember, this 60-day has not started. This 60-day is starting from 5th October onward. Okay, 5th October onward to 4th December. I mean, to end of this year, to this year, December. Okay, so yeah, so it's a bad weather and accident and clashes. Now let me point you to the date that points to this inundation and clashes. And why I put it up here to be consolidated as the theme for this 10-day. Yeah. Now on the 7th October, it is a 家人卦. So it's a 庚之家人. Okay, 庚之家人. So it says here the mountain are becoming like the white blue sea. So there's a mention of white blue sea. Okay, and the land is become like the ocean. Okay, let me repeat this. The mountain are becoming like the white blue sea, and the land is becoming like the ocean. Okay, the people are unsettled. What do you think? Is it okay if I put this image to represent what I think it could happen? What do you think? What's your opinion? Type something in the chat box. Just share for discussion's sake. Do you agree I can put this inundation to sum up what it means here? The mountain can become like the white blue sea, and the land is become like the ocean. The people are unsettled. Thanks, Alan. Even mountains so high can become a white blue sea, can become like water, right? And then the land become the ocean. So this inundation must be very serious. Is it another tsunami? Pepe say flooding, house misplaced, people migrating. Remember the Phuket tsunami? People got to run up the hill to stay above the tsunami, right? So could it be something like that again? And I think the Phuket tsunami was also in December, right? Boxing Day, is it? I can't remember. So yeah, who knows, Okay, so just be careful lah. Just be careful. This is on the 7th October. That's why I picked this up and put it in the 10-day block. Next, on the 11th October, the one that I highlighted here is encountering trouble on the road. No, so why do I highlight this and not the rest? It's because there is a synchronization. On the left side, the higher level of reading, it says abandon the carriage and walk. That means there could be possible of transportation accidents. And then that day on the 11th October, it says here encountering trouble on the road. So therefore, there could be traffic accident, transportation accident. That's on the 11th. That's why it I though okay, so it coincide with this one. Coincide with this one. Okay, that's on the 11th October. Let me proceed. And then on the 12th October, it says here the water stop our progress. Too deep to fog. Too deep to fog. To fog means to walk through the water. Now it says too deep to even walk through the water. So this week, the first 10-day block, from 5th October onward, the first 10-day block seems to be very watery 10-day. So Pepe say, hope the MRT is safe transport for all. I hope so too. I think you have seen in Korea, right? In Korea, when I think last year or this year, the rainwater get very serious and all the rainwater get into the subway, right? So it can be that serious. So let's hope Singapore is safe, safe from all this. I think our drainage system is quite good. Hong Kong also, right? Thank you, Pepe. Thank you. Alan say we are unable to identify the area direction. We can't because this time round, wait a minute. Here, there's no mention of direction. Okay, here there's no mention of direction. But the this one, there is something called tracing a fox into the eastern mountain. Okay, eastern mountain. Right? So it could mean the eastern side. And where is the reference point of eastern side? And that is the challenge. Is it that you don't care? You look at the world map, the eastern side means the China side. It could be the China side because this whole year, China has its fair share of a very bad wet weather. So it could be China side. Right? So in Singapore, could be the East Coast side. Okay, so in terms of area and direction, this could be one way to look at it. Right? So let's move on. And then on the 13th October, it says here when egg and rock contend means fight against each other. Egg and rock fight against each other. Sure, one will lose or one will win, but they still fight. That means one strong fight against one weak. And the egg is smashed. Movement only produces regrets, no time for going for. So that means on the what do you call that? 13th October, there is a one egg and one rock fight each other. And then the egg is smashed. So I put that as conflict. Okay. Wait. Okay, so this is let me come back to this. Okay, so in this first 10-day block, let me clear the ink. In this 10-day block, expect transportation accident, inundation, and clashes. Okay, clashes. So these clashes is one strong and one weak. So let's put our head together. Which countries is one rock and one egg that may clash with each other? Israel, Palestine, or where? China, Taiwan, or where? Russia, Ukraine, we already know is ongoing. So where else? Where else is one egg and one rock? This is how we do 推理, but then my history and my geography is not that good. So therefore, I have a hard time thinking about one egg and one rock. Which two country could that be, or which two party could that be? So if you have some insight, some ideas, feel free to share in the chat box. So that's the first 10-day block. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the second day 10-day block. It is 比之大序. 比之大序. It says here the fish hawks fly backward, and the enterprise does not succeed, breaking a tool, eating venison, losing the Tao and the pattern. Now, why I put there, a picture say I quit. This is what I believe. I may be wrong. So if you have your insights, do type in the chat box. Is that the fish hawks suddenly fly backward? That means instead of progressing forward, right, is flying backward. That means U-turn. Okay, it could means U-turn. And once it U-turn means it's losing the Tao and the pattern. So therefore, I quit can means you give up halfway or you retreat halfway. That means someone or somebody, some party, some country, some bloc decided to give up or decided to retreat, go stun. Okay, so the second 10-day block, 16th to 25th October, one of the major theme is give up or retreat. And then from the day to day, I find there are signs telling us there could be closed border, okay, and then there could be tension building up. But then there's a mention of Korea. Very, very interesting. Later I'll show you the Korea part. Suddenly, Korea, this word is being mentioned. So that means it's worth taking note on Korea from between 16th October to 25th October, right? So let's move into the day by day one to see about the closed border, what it says about the closed border. Now, this happens on 17th October. It says here, the will is ungoverned. Reckless act leads to damage. No place to turn, no way out. The king of all closed the passes. That is why I put it as closed border. And the merchant stops their journey. So no one can pass through. Even merchant also cannot pass through. Now, let's put our thinking hat on. What can cause border to close? Very rare country will close borders. Very, very rare. Now, what will cause borders to be closed? Let's put on our thinking hat. Now, this is 推理啦. Okay, so seeing this will be the last one. So let's dive deeper in and put our thinking cap together and say that if there's a mention of closed border, what can cause border to be closed? People say disease. Could be pandemic. Could it be pandemic again? Right? What else? And let's say pandemic, war prep, internal conflict. Could be war prep. Okay, could be war prep. Right? So internal conflicts could be also internal conflicts. Right? So therefore, but we don't know where, right? If it's pandemic, then most likely, it could be quite widespread, like COVID-19 like that. Everyone closing down. Okay. But this time around, it says here that even merchants stop their journey. Merchants. In COVID, even though we close border, we allow, like for example, food supplier to pass through, especially food supplier to pass through. Those are the merchants. We call as merchants. Okay. So this time around, merchants also stop their journey. Or could it be a different definition of closed border that, protectionism comes in? Import policy, like what Alan said, import policy, import export policy. Maybe in that sense, okay, from a different angle, saying that it's not a total border closure, but it is more towards import export policy, where they say, nope, we stop exporting, for example, rare earth to US, as like for example China stop. Okay, so they protect their own self. Or maybe some countries in Europe, okay, they ban Ukraine rice, Ukraine grain. Right? So this is also closed door, right? Closed door, closed border. So it could be a smaller scale, or it could be a wide scale that means even human being also cannot go in. Right? So yeah, so that's, take note. If it is protectionism, then it could be import export. If it is pandemic, then it could be everyone, including human being, right? And if it's war, and war depends on who versus who lah. Like for example, right now, I think Niger has what call that, close border to all French people, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I think last one that I seen in the news. Alan said, kings of all country or countries with senior leaders. Oh, very good point. Okay, kings of all means all country or countries with senior leaders, kings. Good point. So it could be where? maybe African country. Okay, African country, a bit more way back one, or in the Arab countries. So we take note lah. We take note. Okay. So this is what it says by close border. Let's hope not another round of pandemic. I hope it's a localized one that only this country and that country close border. That's it. Don't bother us. Huh? Don't bother us. Okay, let's move on. Huh? The next one. On the 20th October, it is a 大旭之泰. Now, 大旭之泰 you see this part here? The tiger lies below the mountain. The grass pass safely by. So there's a tiger. The deer pass safely by. The bow is drawn, but it is the hedgehog that scares off the tiger. It dare not attack. Okay, and they find the green grass to eat. So that means there's a tiger waiting to pounce on the deer, but then the hedgehog spoil everything. So the tiger dare not attack. So that means there could be some tension, right? There could be some tension. Say I'm going to, um, invade you and things like that, But then somehow it dare not attack. So that is on 20th October. Next, now Korea. That's why I talk about Korea, right? This is on this date, 21st October. 21st October. Any historical significant to Korea? Not that I know of. Okay, but it says here, the land of Korea. Interesting, right? Suddenly, they mention, I think this is a very, very first time that a country name was mentioned. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? I think this was the very first time that I noticed that a country name was mentioned. You see, the land of Korea is protected by Jizi, keeping order in the man and in the family, abundant joy, sons and grandsons. Those seeking work find good fortune. Although overall it sounds positive and good, right? But then we don't want name to be mentioned. Okay, when the name is being mentioned, I mean good or bad can happen. Why? Because if all are having positive mindset and things like that, then the goodness may happen. But if not, the negative attributes of it could happen. So it could be the North Korea and South Korea issue in this 10-day block that we need to take note of. Right? So let's take a look. This is called 大序之大序. Okay, 大序之大序. Remember, I think in either the year hexagram workshop or the day hexagram workshop, I mentioned before that when it is a duplicate kind of hexagram showing up, 大序之大序, like this, then it is like confirm something bad could happen. I think I mentioned that. I'm not sure how many of you can recall that. So this is a case of 大序之大序, repeating. And then it's talking about land of Korea. So please, everyone, open up, monitor South Korea, monitor Korea, whether it's North Korea, South Korea, monitor. So Alan said 21st October is a significant day in Korea for two reasons. It is Korean Hanbok Day, and it is the birthday of King Sejong the Great. King Sejong is a revered figure in Korean history. He's known as the father of the Korean people. Oh, is it National Day for Korean? Okay, but yeah, so it's a significant day. Thanks, Alan, for digging this up. So yeah, so it could be North and South Korea, right? North and South Korea issue. Something may blow up on that day. Thanks, Alan, for showing this one. Okay. Question so far. What do you think of this? Wait. Of this 10-day block, the second 10-day block? They say no, somebody may give up or retreat, and then there's a close border potential. There's a tension potential, and something about Korea could be of interest to all of us in the 10-day block of 16th October to 25th October. Right. So let's move on. The third 10-day block. The third 10-day block is 比之意. Okay, 比之意. Now the highlighted one is calling for his mate. Now calling for his mate, means you call all your abang adik lah. Or your abang adik means your brother and sister. So if you call all your brother and sister around, basically means is diplomacy or alliance, right? Diplomacy or alliance. Let's form together a team, a group, a block, things like that. So I put it as alliance. Okay, alliance. Now, in the day-to-day, what do you call that? Day-to-day energy, I saw energies of fierce battle, and I saw energies of discord. Discord means 挑拨离间呐，and also energies of adverse weather. Whoa, remember just now we talked about the inundation. Okay, so this is another round of adverse weather. Okay, on the 27th October, it says here persuading Qi to come to Yan's relief. So that means this could be calling for help. This day, it could be someone calling for help. It could be Ukraine calling for help. It could be Russia calling for help. Russia can't be that super, right? Can tahan for so many years, fighting Ukraine, knowing very well that the US and NATO, okay, is supporting Ukraine all the way financially, and militarily. So I'm sure Russia will also run out of ammunition and machineries as well. So could it be Russia asking for help? Who knows? Okay. So meaning calling for help means let's form alliance. Let's get this done together. Yeah. Now on the 28th, let me read what is in the highlighted one, but let me read the whole para. It says here, 6 dragon enraged. Not 1, not 2, 6. Okay, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6. 6 dragon enraged. Battling beneath a slope. The cyan and yellow fight. Neither side prevailing. The traveler is trapped in bitter difficulty. 6 dragons. Is there any block that is 6 dragons on? NATO? We need to do some homework. Okay, so what kind of block consists of 6 dragons, right? And then there's a battling, okay? And then the cyan and yellow. Which country flag is cyan and yellow? Anybody know? Or want to Google? Country flag, cyan and yellow. Okay, so means cyan and yellow fight. Yellow, could it be Ukraine? And cyan, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so this could probably point towards which country is fighting which country. Yeah. Or could it be a block flag color? Maybe NATO, what color is that? Maybe China or Taiwan? No, Taiwan is blue, right? I can't remember. Sorry. Okay. All right. So that so this 10-day block we see heavy battles. Heavy battles. Okay. Then on the 31st October, differing countries with differing ways. Jialat. First of all, they say 6 dragon, right? They form together, they form alliance together. And then now they have these differing countries with differing ways. So not seeing eye to eye. Okay, not seeing eye to eye. And minds too far apart to have mutual admiration. A baby snake with 2 horns, the sight of is sickening. Okay, it's been covered. Okay, so there's a discord. Okay, when different countries with differing ways, there's a discord. Okay, not seeing eye to eye. And then a baby snake with 2 horns. That means a seed of destruction is actually brewing within this alliance. Okay. What else do you all see? Feel free to type in the chat box. If we go day by day like that, looking at the trending of the energy, it seems to point towards that this 10-day block is like trying to gather people around to fight for a common cause. But then somehow, when they gather around already, they don't see eye to eye. And then it's actually growing the snake, baby snake, growing the baby snake with two horns some more. Sit for trouble. Okay, next, 1st November. It says here, fierce the winds blowing east and west, all dispersed in all directions from dawn till dusk, not seeing the children play. Wow, that means this could be typhoon. Recent months, we have seen many rounds of hurricane, okay, making a forceful landing on almost everywhere, China to Taiwan, US, almost everywhere lah. Okay, and this would be something like this. Fears the wind blowing east and west. That means China side will get it, the US side will also get it. Okay, and all dispersed in all direction from dawn to dusk. Wow, like 尾料哦，没来没完这样。Okay, and not seeing the children play. I mean, no children there to come out to play. So that is that 1st November, and in this 10-day block. Next, Song, the last day, 4th November, the last day. Song, Yi Zhi Song. Her mothers-in-law and fathers-in-law are both enraged. If both enraged means they're going to quarrel lah. Okay, so there will be tension, there will be conflict. Right? So if I let us take a look back at the 10-day, the summary one. So basically, this is what it means. In this 10-day block, there could be alliance, and there could be fierce battle, and they cannot see eye to eye, and separately, adverse weather, hurricane, typhoon, right? Cyclops and things like that. Okay, so that is 10 days. So that means, this 60 day, we see a lot of bad weathers. What else do you see? Feel free to type in the chat box. Any questions so far? Are you still good with me? Type yes in the chat box if you are. Okay. Thank you, Fiona. Let's move on to the 4th 10-day block. Now, the 4th 10-day block is Li Gua, Bi Zhi Li Gua. Okay, Bi Zhi Li Gua, the one that I highlighted here, which I pay more attention to, is wisdom does not tread perilous path. Basically means use your brain. I think this is more an advice, okay, for this 10-day to tell us, please use your brain. Wisdom does not tread perilous path. Okay, so I put as a light bulb here and then put here as be wise. I mean, common sense lah. Why? Because there could be, it says here perilous path perilous path means there's some danger path. And since it's a perilous path, just don't purposely walk that path. That's why it says wisdom does not tread perilous path. So be wise. Okay, so based on the day-to-day energy, I see energies of dispute, I see energy of trap, and I see energy of rebel or coup. Wow, so this year there's quite a number of rebel and coup going on, especially the African countries. Now, on the 6th November, it says here, a place of tigers and wolves Greedy officials squabbling daily over profits in the law courts. Woe to the person assigned as judge unable to make a good decision. I mean quarreling lah, claiming lah, to say that this is should be mine. I should have all the rights and things like that. So yep. So this is a day of squabbling, quarreling, conflict, disagreement, dispute, things like that. Okay, this Huan Day, 8 November, Huan Day. I put a power outage there, but feel free to type in the chat box what you see. Okay, so let me read out. Number one, I highlighted here dispersing blood. That means there could be certain death, fatality, and this is dispersing blood. Okay, next, let me read out the forest of change. It says here the sun disappear behind the mountains. That means no light. This is something like 地火明夷. You know 地火明夷? 地火明夷, darkening. Darkening is like the sun go underneath the earth, right? The ground. So no light. Okay. So it says here the sun disappear behind the mountains. No light. And the light sinks into the earth not to be seen again. Wow. 地火明夷. And the small man labors bitterly, seeking a good fortune, pursuing but not obtaining it. 白做. Oh, 白做. Okay, so it's like what do you call that? Darkening. What could cause this darkening to show up? Is it pandemic or is it power outage? That means maybe a very big scale kind of power outage. Not too sure. Or it could be economy downturn, take us by surprise, and suddenly, the world economy suddenly dim down like no light and that. What do you all think? This is one area where I actually seek your opinion also. What do you all think? But it definitely sound bad, right? The sun disappear behind the mountain, the lights sink into the earth not to be seen again. Or could it be the sun represent a leadership that is falling down already? And let's say energy industrial issue. Could be energy crisis, maybe. So there are a few ways to look at it. The sun could be representing someone of high position, I mean a leader, and falling from grace. Okay, or it could be energy industrial issues like what Alan suggested. Pepe says sustainability and force, maybe also good point. Or it could be economy downturn and taken by surprise. So therefore, it just like, for example, the market crash suddenly and then see no light at all. You see, remember below here it says the small man here actually is 小人 小人劳心 Okay, the small man is not small man but is 小人 Okay, labor bitterly, seeking good fortune, pursuing but not obtaining it. So could it be market? Alan said Japan. Small man, Oh, the sun. Okay, the sun. Right. Good point, Alan. Good point. Could it be Japan? Okay, could it be Japan? Right? Because Japan, sun is always representing, Japan, right? The country's flag, the sun. Good point, Alan. What could that be? The economy? Or I'm not too sure. Okay, so good point. So just remember, it could be in energy industry, sustainability, Japan, power outage, pandemic. I don't think it's pandemic. Okay, or economy downturn. Called economy downturn. Yeah. Okay, so thanks. Thanks for your input. I think makes sense, make a lot of sense. So yeah, highly likely could be Japan. So there was a mention of Korea, and now there's a very strong indication towards Japan. All in those areas. Okay. Pepe said Japan's seafood poor export sales, economy suffer, or because of that radiation water being released. They say no harm. They say they tested, say no harm. And they are going to do another release, second release in few days' time. Which is, I think, very bad. Okay, next. 11 November. 11 November, it says here, I highlighted two areas. Floods. Shedding tears in floods, grieving and sighing auspicious. Oh, okay. Shedding tears in flood. Number one, there's a flood, mention of flood. So when there's mention of flood, I don't care whether it's shedding tears or whatever. This could be a adverse weather indication. Next, after this one could means adverse weather, adverse wet weather. Then after that, you're reading as shedding tears in floods, grieving and sighing. It means there could be, something bad happening. Therefore, you have to shed tears, grieving and sighing. Now, if you look at the forest of change, it says here, 3 leopard cats have trapped a rat, fainting left and right, they block it in. Its time is come, no path of escape. So therefore, this one I put it as a trap. Okay, a trap. Trap who? Trap Russia? Trap Ukraine? Trap Taiwan? Who else? If anything, I think more likely is Ukraine, right? Next, 14 November, the king launches a punitive attack. So there's an attack here, and it's issued by the king. And it's not any other attack. It's punitive attack. Okay, and the Yellow Emperor started a new era. You know who is the Yellow Emperor? Is the Huang Di. Okay, Huang Di, Yellow Emperor, started a new era. That means a new world order. But before this new world order comes along, there must be a punitive attack first. That means the oppression here. So if you link it back to this one, it set a trap, and once the prey get into the trap, the king launches a punitive attack, and assuming they get what they want, they achieve the objective, then the Yellow Emperor started a new era. It could mean this way, but feel free to type in the chat box your opinion. Okay, you may be right also, right? So let's sum up this one. Let me go back to the earlier one, this one. So therefore, for this 10-day block, it says here, be wise lah. Be wise. Don't make you know that it's danger to go, you still want to go. Okay, so be wise. And then there's also sign of dispute, sign of trap, and sign of rebel or coup. And after this coup, a new era will come up. Okay, question so far? No question? Okay, so if not, let's move on to the second last 10-day block. Now, the second last 10-day block is a 家人卦, is 比自家人. Okay, 比自家人. In this forest of change, it says here, eastern mountain, western mountain, so calm and so distant, each gazing at the other, never again to meet. Now, it seems here pretty good, right? Pretty good, like very calm, so distant, each gazing at each other, never again to meet, right? I still put a image of this explosion here. Why? Let me explain. Now, 家人卦. Let me clear the ink. 风火家人卦. Based on my observation for so many years, and especially during this period where I'm doing these 黄基金色 workshops, buy money workshops, I've noticed that every time a 家人 energy shows up, especially on a broader scale. Broader scale means a 10-day effect or 60-day effect or 360-day effect. That's like this year is a 家人卦, right? This year is a 家人卦, right? The entire year is governed by this 家人. And now this 10-day is governed by this 家人 also. So 家人, if you look at the let me pull out a white sheet better lah. 风火家人. Okay. Now this below here is 离卦, is fire. Okay. And then the 巽卦 on top is a cloud. Okay, it's wind, wind. Okay, wind. Means the wind either blowing the fire, spreading the fire, or collectively looking at it, it could mean a mushroom of explosion. Okay, a mushroom explosion. You know, when things explode, there will be a mushroom shape that comes out, right? So I've noticed this. Whenever there is a 烽火家人 energy showing up, okay, despite all other commentaries to say that it's okay, it's nothing, it's auspicious, blah, 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 there'll be some kind of explosion, fire going on somehow, right? So I wouldn't want to bet on the safe side. So therefore, I still put, what do you call that? A explosion image here. Despite here says, not too bad. Here also say not too bad. Okay, but I still put an explosion here just to remind ourselves because of my experience with 家人卦. So for the second last 10-day block, even though there's a destruction energy here, there's also a sign of diplomacy. Again, there's a sign of adverse weather. And there's a sign of rebel, okay, and coup. Pepe said, never able to meet where got good. Good point, Pepe. Good point. That means they refuse to talk to each other. Lah. Okay, let's revisit that line again, which Pepe said, never able to meet where got good. Nah. Eastern mountain, western mountain. Mountain means must be something very strong, right? Very powerful, right? That's why it's as strong as mountain, right? So one east mountain, one west mountain. I think the easiest to think it through is China and the US, right? Now you know they are at tension. Okay. And now this verse here says that they are so calm and so distant, they are so far apart, each gazing at each other, each look at each other, but they never able to meet and maybe not wanting to talk to each other still. Okay, and then we got good, right? So this is what Pepe is trying to say, which I say is very good point. Okay. Okay, so like I said, these are the 4 points that may form the theme for this second last 10-day block. Let me go into the day by day. On the 25th November, it says here, 2 clans join in love. I don't know how many of you can recall you have seen this verse before. 2 clans join in verse. Anybody remember seeing this verse before? It happened few times. Okay, for the past few workshops that we have. Let me do some flashback for you. This one is 家人之见卦. Okay, so in 4th February to 4th April, the 60 day this year, 4th February to 4th April 60 day is 家人之见卦. You can see there are a lot of diplomacy going on. Okay, there's a lot of diplomacy going on. I won't want to go into every individual event, but you know this. I've shown you this slide before in previous workshop, and this happened during the period 家人之见卦, where 2 clans join in love. So So therefore, what it means here is that during this 10 day, because it's also a 家人 kind of energy, 家人 means family kind of energy. If any two countries at conflict want to sit down and then settle, I think this would be a good 10-day period to do so. Especially when he says that, Eastern Mountain, Western Mountain don't want to meet each other, right? All the more they should meet each other. Am I right to say that? Or break away. Okay, this is still a flashback about two clans join in love. Right. 21st November. There is a verse here. Attack the city. Wow. Attack the city and danger. Danger. Okay. And then the forest of change, it says here, a dark haze obscure the sky. Haze. Suddenly, so far never mentioned about haze. Then suddenly here mentioned haze, but it's almost coming to the year end. Haze. Oh, the dark haze obscure the sky. A corrupt government turns the people towards rebellion. At summer's end and the start of fall, the flood water damages my home. Okay, so first of all, there is a attach the city, attack the city. So there's this picture here, attack the city, some military conflict, attack the city. And there's also a mention of rebellion. So these two can go hand in hand, which means this one. A dark haze obscure the sky, but it's coming almost to the end of the year already. So a haze may or may not happen. Okay, may or may not happen. So a dark haze could also mean dark cloud. Dark cloud could also means rain. Or if we put it in from a different perspective, it could mean rain, heavy rain because it's dark cloud. And then here it says here the flood waters damage my home. So the dark cloud rains into floods. So adverse wet weather. So 21st November, you can have attack, rebellion, and then bad weather. 22nd November, it says here the 5 grains do not mature. The people are in bad straits. So I think this is very obviously pointing towards crop crisis. The 5 grains do not mature. That means their harvest no good lah. Then again, I mentioned that many times. When it comes to food and crop crisis, it's seldom reported. Very, very seldom reported. It's always, if it's reported, it's always reported very, very late. That means weeks or months later. Oops. Okay, this is the last 10 day. Wait, let me recap. Right. So so this 10 day, the second last 10 day, the theme is destruction, diplomacy. So if anybody want to settle the conflict, I think this would be a good 10 day to go for. Bad weather, and then rebel and possible coup. I leave out the food and crop crisis because, like I say, is seldom is get reported on time. So I leave that out. So I leave it with only these 4. Okay, question so far. Oops. Okay, if not, then we'll move on to the last 10 day. Okay, last 10 day. And it is called Ming Yi Darkening. 比这名仪比卦 is already the light very dim already. You know, 山火比 or 山火比. And then now this is 地火明夷. That means the light suddenly getting from dim to dimmer to gone. Okay, 地火明夷 means gone. The light is gone. So looking at this highlighted one is called collapses. Building a house at the foot of the mountain, everyone is at peace. One night, the mountain top collapses and all the food pots are smashed. Food pot are smashed means no food. Collapses, right? So yeah, so that 10 day, the last 10 day will see maybe incidents of building collapse, anything that can collapse lah. Bridge collapse, aeroplane collapse, maybe ship also capsize, core collapse. Okay, all sort of things that can collapse. It's a collapsing energy. Yeah. Okay, so based on the day to day, could be cases of fake news, a trap again, adverse weather again. Oh my god. So it looks like this year end will be, you need to pull out your winter clothing again. So it looks like going to be very cold weather. Confrontation. Confrontation. I mean, war still not going away. We still see. Will it carry into next year or not? Wow. I think we need to read into the next 2 month one. Okay, let's look into the day to day. It says here rumors and slanders misleading one another. That's why I say it is fake news. Right? I think even now, without this reminding us, there are a lot of fake news flying around. So just be careful. So, but during this 10 day, be even more careful. Fake news. On 1st December, the water of the Yangtze inundated its tributary, the Tuo. So the inundate comes out already. So really flooding, flooding. Next, 4th December, the very last day of the 10 day, it says here, they come to attack my city. My skin is injured. The nation suffer and grieves. So looks bad. So 民夷, okay, 民夷之民夷, that is 4th December. 民夷之民夷. So what do you think? Oops. What do you think? The last 10-day block, the theme is something will collapse, fake news, there will be a trap, adverse weather, and confrontation. So with this, we've covered the forecast for the next 60 days. And what's the period? 5th, what do you call that? October to 4th December, all the way to the year end already, up to 4th December. Okay, so yep, that's it. I covered all the way there. So anyone has any questions or inputs or opinions that you would like to share with the class, feel free to type in the chat box. So if you want to know further, that means you can do the same thing like I did here with your, do the same thing, go for the 10-day forecast. You should be there already. Yeah, you can look at this and see how things can turn out all the way into next year, until next year Li Chun. Any questions so far or any opinions? Okay, so where did I get the text? The Chinese text, I think, yeah, they're talking about the forest of change, right? I think last round or the last few rounds, I can't remember whether it's Philip or Andrew share a link to the Chinese text. Anyway, anyway, for the coming year hexagram workshop, okay, for the coming year hexagram workshop, come for refresher. Okay, come for refresher. I will share the link, the Chinese text links in that coming workshop. Okay. So any questions so far? Thanks for asking, Pepe. Pepe is saying the left bottom is what text? The left bottom. The left bottom. This one. You're saying this one, is it? Are you referring to this one? Forest of Change, 教室一零. The bottom is always the 教室一零. Whether it's left side or the right side, the bottom is always 教室一零. The top two is the 易经 commentaries. For example, here it says 比卦卦辞, or here 家人95. That means 家人卦 line number 5 commentaries. Is that okay, Pepe? Question so far? Okay, so if not, may I ask you to write a one-liner in the chat box? What have you learned in this buy money workshop that you can start using in your life? Pepe is asking, left second, look for 家人 line 5. No need to relate to P meaning first. What do you mean P meaning? P meaning. Now, this is called transiting. Good question, Pepe. This is called transiting from 风火家人 to 山火比. Right? This is the line that is changing. Okay, this is the line that is changing. So we want to read what this line is trying to tell us because it changes. That's why it's called 家人95. And you say no need to relate to P meaning first. We already tried to relate to P meaning because the P 卦词 is on top here. Okay, it's on top here. So we already added in. We didn't forget P 卦 meaning. Is that okay? Right? Is that all right with you, Pepe? Anyone? Okay, while you're typing, just listen to me. Now, we're coming to the end of the year very soon. Few more months, October, November, December, and we are over for the year. So what is the remaining workshop and events for the rest of the year? Are these three events. Okay, are these three events. That is in October next year, 14, not next year, next month, 14 October next month, 黄极金是 year hexagram. You have attended before, please come back for refresher, yeah? And then the week after, 21st October, is 黄极金是 day hexagram, right? So it would be good if you can come back for a refresher, right? So that, you know, when you want to sit down and do the forecast on yourself, at least you are kept updated with the latest. So do come back for refresher, yeah? And then that's October. November, this will be the last event of the year. December, I'm going for a break already. So November, this is the last event, which is the annual eating seminar, which is on 18 November. So if you have not signed up for this, do sign up. Okay, if you know anyone who could benefit from this seminar, share with them the link too. Okay, so these three will be the upcoming last three events for the entire year. Um, challenge what? Yes, challenging to collate all the text alone and getting the meaning correct. Thanks much for the effort. My pleasure, my pleasure. Actually, I don't wish to stop, but I just want to be more focused and do what is more urgent. Okay, so to me, after getting some insights from universe, I think my urgent task now is to push out Tao Te Ching. Okay, will you be keen to let students to purchase next year forecast? What do you mean by purchase next year forecast? The slides. You mean day by day, as like as what I did for this what do you call that? This workshop, is it? Okay, I didn't prepare, but let us have a show of hand. How many of you would like to purchase these slides? I can prepare. Okay, thanks, Pepe. So if there's demand, I will do it. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it will be less than 10. But it's huge effort. Okay, so looks like Pepe, you are the only one interested. Okay, anyway, Fiona say I'm keen now. Okay, thanks, Fiona. Right, so let's say that if there's a demand, I'm prepared to do it, right? But it's a very huge effort, I take 2 months, to come up with just for 60-day kind of slides and information. So if you want the whole year, ah, okay, but I'm prepared to do that. Okay, so next, let's say I am shifting my focus to pushing out Tao Te Ching. Anyone keen to pick up Tao Te Ching? Anyone keen? Pepe say, please explain Tao Te Ching. Okay, good. Thank you. Now, my way of trying to push out this Tao Te Ching will be in this format. Okay, this proposed format. Now, Tao Te Ching, the way I'm thinking about it is uh, it will come in two parts. Thank you, Alan. Come in two parts. Okay, and each part will consist of 3 lessons. Each lesson is one workshop lah. Basically, it's one workshop lah. Each lesson is actually 3 hours. It's like workshop style lor. So I'm not putting this Tao Te Ching as a full program like prediction, like feng shui, like AOM. It's not a full program. Okay, but it is a full program, but run in a workshop manner. That means I break this up into 2 parts, and each part is 3 lessons. Each lesson is a 3-hour workshop. So you all only need to sign up one workshop by one workshop, that like this bi-monthly workshop lah. Sign up workshop by workshop. Okay, so in this case, you can attend lesson 1 and then find that after attending lesson 1, you find that it's not a good fit for you. Okay, it's not a good fit for you, and you can stop then. All right, I know that not many people, can follow Tao Te Ching or like Tao Te Ching. They may find it very boring. That's like how some other people find I Ching also dry and boring. Okay, but once you know the hidden meaning behind it, you find that it's a gem. Okay, it's a gem. So same with Tao Te Ching. So how I approach this Tao Te Ching program is In Chinese, I call it as 从易经感悟道德经。Okay, 从易经感悟道德经啊。English called 道德经 decoded 易经 controversial lens. Learn 道德经 through the lens of 易经 and you understand what 道德经 is. Okay, I will explain that, Pepe. Okay, I'll give you one example. Now in 易经, so in the lesson 1 that I'm preparing, okay, is 12th October next year. Harmony of Tao and 易经. Now, what is 道德经? If I put it this way, any difference between 易经 and 道德经? Some said 易经 is crafted more for the common people on the street. Okay, Tom, Dick, Harry. Common people on the street. That means for the general, the masses. Okay. 道德经 is talking about the universe secrets and is crafted with the elites in mind. Elites in mind meaning for the cream of the crops. So if you want to be leader, if you want to be the elite, then you should study Tao Te Ching. Okay, but to me, both are the same thing. They contain the secrets of the universe. One, 易经 is starting from the common people, 人道, talk all the way to 天道. Okay, for 道德经 is starting from 天道, talk all the way to 人道, human. This is what I see the difference. But they basically means the same thing. They are two sides of the same coin. It's just like the approach that they explain different. Many people find that 道德经 is difficult to understand is because they find it dry and boring and it's difficult to understand. But once you know 易经 and use 易经 to look at 道德经, it's super easy. Okay, for example, there is one quote inside 道德经. It says, 道可道, 非常道. Anybody heard about this phrase before? Chapter 1 of 道德经. You all can Google, 道可道, 非常道. Anybody heard about this before? 名可名，非常名。Thank you, Alan. What does it mean? It seems very 绕口令, right? It seems very rhyme, but nobody know what it means. Okay, but basically, very simple, put it this way. 道德经 is trying to tell us that if a Tao, that means the universe secret, the Tao, can be that easily spoken out, written down, or give it a label, saying that what I teach in this Tao Te Ching is the true Tao, then that is not the true Tao. So bear this in mind. Whatever I'm going to teach you in this Tao Te Ching may not be the true Tao. This is called Tao, 可道, 非常道. I tweak it a bit. If the Tao can be Tao, Tao means can be said, or Tao, 可道, or if the Tao can be Tao, 非常道, that means may not be the truth Tao. This is how we should interpret it. So what I'm going to, what I'll be sharing with you in this Tao Te Ching is phrases like this, how to understand it, how to make sense out of it, and then make you a better version. Why? Because when people tell you that they know everything, including feng shui, including metaphysics, including prediction, including everything else, okay, if they can say that, they mean this is not the truth. Right? 道可道，非常道. If you can apply to 道, it can apply to everything in the life. The moment you know this, you know that. Okay, 名可名，非常名 is that every time when you put a label to certain things, it loses the meaning already. Okay, for example, success. Everybody wants success. Yeah, I'm sure. But once you put a label success to something, For example, if you have a lot of money, you earn a lot of money, you drive a Ferrari, that's called success. Success lose the meaning already. You get my point? So it's called 名可名非常名. Okay, so a lot of time, Tao Te Ching is telling us, don't be so 执着. Don't be so fixated on certain things. Don't be fixated on labeling. This is just a quick glimpse lah. Okay, and in lesson 1, okay, I'm going to show you, share with you, break the barrier first about the Tao Te Ching and the I Ching, and how we should use I Ching to understand Tao Te Ching. You know, there's another verse in Tao Te Ching. It says that, what do you call it? 人不为己，天诛地灭. Have you heard about this? 人不为己，天诛地灭. This is a verse from 道德经. Anybody heard about this verse before? You all know what it means? 人不为己，天诛地灭. There are many of such verses in 道德经 that a lot of people misinterpreted. Okay, but I'm here to help you demystify 道德经 through the lens of 易经. Pepe said, yes, take care of self first. Wrong. Therefore, does it mean 道德经 say we have to be selfish? You know, does it mean 道德经 is trying to advise us to be selfish? Take care of yourself first. Don't care about others. Otherwise, you know, you'll be punished by the universe, by the God. No, it doesn't mean this way. Okay, but good try, Pepe. So there are many such examples that I want to bring out, so you know, you can use this wisdom to live your life in a better way. Right, so the first lesson is on 12th October. So like I say, this is going to be a 2-part. Part 1, part 2, each part 3 lessons. And the part 1, lesson 1 will be on 12th October. So that, you know, you don't have to pay for the full program. Just pay for whichever lesson that you want to attend. Okay, for lesson 1 is $49. So if you are keen, pre-register first and I'll register for you. Okay. Right, question so far? All right, if not, then I'm done with today's workshop. But before you shut down your phone or your laptop or your desktop, can I ask you to go to the feedback form there to give me your last feedback for this bi-monthly workshop? I will type the, what do you call that? Type the link in the chat box. Give me a minute. Okay. Then after that, you'll be, you know, sent to the flash deal corner where you can make your signing up. If you have not signed up for the annual seminar, do sign up. And then if you give me your testimonial, I will give you this calendar for the next 2 months, next 60 days, the calendar. Okay, and then the replay video will be, you know, once it's processed and ready, it will be uploaded and I will keep you informed. So Pepe said, will you notify us privately via WhatsApp when you're ready to self the what is HJQS? Huangji QS is what? Oh, Huangji Jingsi slides. Yes, either email or WhatsApp. But so far, only you and Fiona are interested lah. The rest, let's give it a try. The rest, are you all interested in what Pepe is suggesting for the Huang Jijing slides for the next entire year? Alan say me. Thank you, Alan. Okay, so 3. Okay. So Pepe say maybe you can post it via email to past Huang Jingsi student. Yeah, probably I could do that too. Thanks for the suggestion. All right, so that's all from me for today for you. So I hope you have enjoyed this last buy money workshop as much as I do. I really do miss this workshop already. Okay, but yeah, because we've been doing forecasting for I think the entire year, right? And then most of the time, whatever we forecasted, it came true most of it although I have misses as well.